What's goody? Welcome back to the Winner Circle, you guys. Today's video is going to be about if you are always alone, this video is going to help you. So stay tuned and watch this video because it is going to help you accelerate your life. It is going to help you see being alone in a different and a brand new light, okay? If you are new here, do whatever you got to do to join the Winner Circle, whatever platform you're watching this on, like, follow, subscribe, join the Winner Circle because it's going to boss your life up. If you've been rocking with me, you already know I love you. We locked in. But let's get right into it, y'all. If you always find yourself alone, like sometimes it can feel like, oh my gosh, like I'm so alone. I want to hang out with friends. I want to do this. I want to go here. I want to do that. And sometimes we can paint like a negative connotation around it, and it can make some people depressed. It can give people anxiety. It could give people sometimes sickness in their body to where they don't even want to get out of bed. But I want to help you shift that mindset and that perspective on being alone, because being alone is the greatest gift that I could ever ask for. It has literally changed my life and is what literally propelled me into my success and propelled me into doing the things that I want to do and living a much better quality of life. So if you always alone, you probably be thinking to yourself like, I don't got no friends, or maybe you do got friends and y'all busy, y'all don't be linking up like y'all used to, or you're not linking up with family members like you used to. You're not doing none of that. And you just find yourself alone. You probably be going to the park by yourself. You go to the movies by yourself. I'm alone often, you guys. I used to be married, and when I went through a divorce, I found myself alone. And I do have 2 children. I have 2 boys. Back then when I went through a divorce, like we would share custody. Cause listen, I'm not that baby mama to be like, yeah, how many kids? No, I'm the one to be like, listen, come get your kids. No. You want to give them an extra day? Absolutely. You want more time? Absolutely. Have your kids. They're 2 boys. So fast forward to today, one of them is going to high school. They're much older, and I'm even more alone nowadays because their father is stepping into his role. He's an excellent father. He's being the father that he needs to be, and teaching them about boy stuff, teaching boys how to become men. So I'm even more alone because he's doing all of that good stuff or whatever. But I say all of that to say I'm even more alone today. And what I find that being alone is you really learn yourself, because it clears out all the chatter, all the confusion, all the opinions of people. It clears out everything, and you could really just sit with yourself. You sit with yourself in silence. You might even find yourself talking to yourself, having conversations with people that are not even there. You might be replaying old conversations with people that you had in the past, or people that you were intimate with in the past. And you're like, next time I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna do this. And then you might catch yourself like, stop talking to yourself. I want you to know that talking to yourself is healthy, okay? Talking to yourself is very healthy. And when you're talking to yourself, you're not necessarily just talking to yourself. You're talking to God. You're talking to your inner self. You're talking to your spirit, your soul. You're talking to your higher self. And when you start to talk to yourself, you're able to analyze things better. You're analyzing conversations. You're analyzing thought processes. You're analyzing actions and the things that you would do next time, so to speak, in the next case scenario. You're talking to yourself, and when you're able to analyze yourself like that, you become the observer of life. Instead of just the participant, you become the observer and the participant. And when you're able to harness both of those, this is when you're able to play chess with life and not checkers. This is when you're able to manipulate life into the way that you want it to be. This is the way that you're able to cultivate the lifestyle that you actually want. Because when you're by yourself, you are forced to pay attention to yourself. You're forced to pay attention to the things that you're doing that you shouldn't be doing. You're forced to pay attention to the behaviors and habits and patterns that are not so good, that might be toxic. You're forced to really pay attention to who you are through and through. And when you really start to pay attention to who you are, and there's some things come up that you don't really like about yourself, then you start to change these things. And this is the true definition of growth and healing. Personal growth and development is about person. It's personal. So you can't do all of these healing things in groups. You can't do all of these. And I mean, you can do them in groups, but it takes you to go inward. And it's just the true definition of healing and growth. You start to really focus on the things that you like, the things that are conducive to your growth, the things that are helping you progress. You start to eat better. You start to take better care of your hygiene. You start to, you sleep better. You get so much more sleep. You start to take better care of your diet. You're able to eat the things that you want to eat because you don't have friends always doing this and eating this and you know, the peer pressure. You start to make better decisions on how you take care of yourself completely. You start to set better boundaries because you're always by yourself and you're not disrespecting yourself. There's nobody around to disrespect you or keep on playing with you. So you set better boundaries because now you're not used to all the BS and the shenanigans. So now you know what it's like to be respected. And now that you've experienced that and you so good within your own peace and your own self, you're not going to tolerate nothing else. You're not tolerating nothing else. So it transforms your mindset. You become a healthier version of you. You start to set those boundaries. You start to treat people better because you're becoming a better person from the inside out. And when you become beautiful on the inside, baby, it always manifests on the outside. And so because you're treating people better, because you become better, now you're attracting better people. Now you're attracting better men or women to date. Now you're attracting better friends because you've gone within and you start taking better care of yourself. When you alone, it literally gives you nothing but space and opportunity to improve yourself. You start to be able to focus on your hobbies. Because you get bored, you're like, okay, what am I going to do now? I'm going to try this out. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go over there. You start to explore more. And when you exploring expands your consciousness. It expands the possibilities and what the world has to offer. When you alone, you literally take more risks and do things that you would have never done in a group setting, that you would have never done had you always had all your homegirls in your face all the time, all your homeboys in your face all the time. When you by yourself, it gives you nothing but space and opportunity to just focus on yourself, improve yourself, and grow. And I know sometimes, you know, it could be like, man, I'm tired of being by myself. Like, I'm tired of being alone. I'm tired of always just talking to myself. I'm tired of entertaining myself. Like me, I go everywhere by myself. I take myself out to eat. I take myself to the movies. I take myself shopping. I take anything that I want to do, like I'm going by myself. It's to the point where at first I used to be like, man, I want to, you know, do this with other people. And I didn't want to go to the movies by myself. And then it transformed into, I don't want to go to the movies with nobody anyway. Like I want to go by myself. Don't get me wrong. Like if I have a significant other, of course I want to go everywhere with them. But you get to the point where you're like, okay, I'm going to go to this lounge and just be in my own vibe. I don't want to go with a homegirl. I don't want to go with a friend. You get to that point because you're so used to your own energy, and your own energy is so good to you that when you do start to incorporate other people with you, you be like, man, she playing games. Man, he hating on me. He jealous. Man, he cock blocking. Girls are trying to talk to me and he over here blocking. You start to really see people for who they are. You start to really see people in the facade that they put on. You start to really see people for their fakeness. You start to really see that everybody got on a mask. And you be like, niggas fake. You really start to see life in the world in a different way when you by yourself. Because when you by yourself, you sharpen yourself so much. You can hear, when I say you can hear from God better, I mean you get more ideas. You get more creativity. You get your problems and solutions answered more quickly because you operating in faith. You're not operating in the well, Susie did this and it didn't work for her, and You're not operating with all that chaos and confusion. All you doing is focusing on you. And when you focus on you, that's the definition of going within. That's the definition of finding God within. God is not in the sky. God is not above the clouds. That is not where God is. God is within. And when you by yourself, you go within. And that's the true definition of growing closer to God and becoming a better version of you. That's the true definition of healing and becoming a whole you. You become so whole. That's where God is. You are God. God is you. You are the manifestation of God. Just like you birth a child, and that child is a manifestation of you, it's the same way. But it comes from you. It comes from within. So when you go in and you talking to yourself and you discussing things with yourself and you evaluating things with yourself, you're talking to God. You activating the God in you even more. And then you start to trust yourself more. You start to trust your own decision making more. You start to trust your own ideas more. You start to believe in yourself more, because it's a ripple effect. You loving yourself more. You eating healthier. You exercising more. You trust your decision making. You loving on yourself more. You only doing things that make you happy. You're not hanging out with all these people to where people are arguing with you and people bringing down your vibration and lowering your vibration and putting you in a messed up mindset to where you pissed off. You are always on cloud 9 because you're always in your own energy. And when you're always in your own energy, it has that domino effect of everything increases. Everything gets great. Everything magnifies. Everything is, boom, just ripe and juicy. Okay. So if you find yourself alone, try to find the beauty in it. Instead of sitting there sulking like, why am I always alone? Try to tell us, what can I learn about myself while I'm alone? Instead of saying, oh my God, I'm so depressed because I'm alone, say, what can I focus on? What can I grow? When you find yourself alone, it's opportunity for you to create something. It's opportunity for you to start something. It's opportunity for you to build something. When you find yourself alone, God is giving you that opportunity to go within and find out who you really are. Find out who you really are, so you can grow yourself, so you can start stepping into the greater version of yourself. So I still have times where I'm like, oh my God, I'm tired of being alone. Like, this is for the birds. But I already know that God and the universe is orchestrating to bring that divine counterpartner, so to speak, into my life. Somebody who too has done all of that work. Somebody who too has done the creating for themselves. Somebody who too has found God within themselves and understand, and they perfected themselves. And ain't nobody perfect, but on the up and up, constantly progressing, constantly onward and upward. So focus on the things that you can improve. Focus on the things that you can sharpen. Focus on the things that, if you alone, I promise you, it's the perfect opportunity to start a business when you alone. You spend most of your time alone, it's the perfect opportunity for you just to start grinding. Because you don't have no distractions. You have nothing but time, space, and opportunity. Focus on building something. Focus on creating something. It is the perfect time. And if you're scared, you don't know how to start, book a session with me. Y'all know I'm a life coach. Y'all be booking sessions with me. I love y'all. The link will be at the top of the comment section. But book a session with me and I will help you navigate this. Or if you find yourself alone and you're just having a hard time finding it difficult to cope with it, book a session with me. I will definitely help you learn how to switch your perspective on being alone and start to alchemize that negative energy from being alone into positive energy and for being alone. Because y'all know I say this all the time, you get what you look for. If you focused on the negative about being alone, you're going to constantly produce that. That's all you're going to see is the negativity. But if you focused on the positivity of being alone and what can I learn from this and how is this going to transform me, that's exactly what you're going to produce. You're going to produce transformation. You're going to step into newness. You're going to step into revival. You're going to step into a better version of yourself. Being alone is the greatest gift that ever happened to me, y'all. Sometimes I do get tired of being alone, but I wouldn't be here being a life coach, operating in my gifts, if I was never alone. If I was still married at that time, and I plan on being married again, I love being a married woman. But I know it's better to be a married woman after I've cultivated myself versus back then it was cool too, but I would never be who I am had I not gotten married. Everything was about the family dynamic. Everything was about the unit. Everything was about us versus now when I'm alone, cultivate my own gifts and I'm walking into a new marriage as a whole woman, solidified, stamped and approved, you know, worth way more. I mean, I was worth something back then, always have been, but it has magnified, it has multiplied, you know what I'm saying? It has amplified, and that's what you want. So instead of sulking like, why is this happening to me? I'm tired of being alone. You're going to have those moments, but focus on cultivating something, okay, you guys? Because being alone is the greatest gift you can ever have. And that don't mean you got to be alone forever. That don't mean you will be alone forever. You'll find your tribe. You'll find if you a man, you looking for your wife, you'll find your wife. It's going to be somebody who was alone too. And they cultivated those. Y'all going to be on the same elevation. Y'all going to be on the same elevation. Y'all going to be on the same wavelength. It's going to be somebody who has grown just like you, who has went within just like you, who has been alone and had to focus on themselves just like you. You're on the same vibration. If you're a woman and you're looking for your husband, trust me, baby, the greatest gift that you can have is being alone. So you can work on yourself. So you can focus on, a lot of women that I talk to, they be in survival mode. Rightfully so, because y'all have been through some things. Men go through some things too. But speaking on the women's behalf, y'all done been through some things. And so being in survival mode, it makes you more masculine. And so the moment I started to go alone and start to really go within, I was able to intentionally cultivate my femininity and being more soft and being, instead of being in survival mode, but being in receiving mode. Like, I deserve to be taken care of. I deserve to be happy. I deserve to be healthy. I deserve to be put on a pedestal. I deserve to be, with queen treatment. I like nothing less than. But me having that mindset took work. And the work came from me being alone, analyzing myself. Y'all, I grew up in a pretty rough area, okay? I grew up in California is the gang banging capital, y'all. I'm a West Side baby, love it all day, will never stop loving it. But because I grew up in such an environment where everything is rough and aggressive, like, I got a pretty rough side. I could get real aggressive. I could, like, when people say what that mouth do, I got a Tasmanian devil mouth. Like, I can hurt somebody's feelings real easy, but I'm not proud of that. You know what I mean? It gives me balance now that I know how to use it. But that's what being alone taught me. It taught me how to use that as a defense mechanism, because I'm so sweet and so genuine. That's my protector side, instead of me always operating in that aggression, always operating in that masculine energy. If you know what I'm talking about, if you're a woman, you know what I'm talking about, leave me in the comment section. Leave me a comment in the comment section, because people be feeling this, but they don't know how to talk about it. They don't know how to say it. And I'm just going to say it. The environment that I grew up in, it made me a very masculine woman, like very masculine woman. But being alone and analyzing myself, saying, I don't want to be masculine. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, and when I say I was masculine, not that I wasn't able to be, like a great woman or a great wife. I've always been that. But, just like a rough exterior. You know what I mean? Not like trying to wear the pants in a relationship, not like that, but just like a rough exterior, always guarded, always walls up. And me being alone and I was able to analyze myself like, no, like that's not healthy. That's not healthy for nobody, men and women. If you find yourself in survival mode, that's not healthy. Analyze yourself and sit back and start telling yourself what you deserve. You might not have everything, but the more you start to cultivate that mindset from being alone, you'll start to attract those things. And the more you start to take care of yourself, the more you start to eat better, the more you start to work out, the more you start to focus on your hobbies, focus on your businesses, focus on being alone gives you that tunnel vision to become great. Focus on all things great. And the more you do that, you will start attracting the money in your life. I promise you. Opportunities are literally going to chase you. Why? Because you're becoming better and God is meeting you halfway. You pouring into yourself and so is God. I promise you, it works just like that. It's like magic. It works just like that. The more you eat healthy and you take care of your body, vegetables are information. Anything that grows from this planet Earth is information, is knowledge. Anything that grows from this universe is knowledge. The more you eat vegetables, the better brain activity you have. It is literally knowledge. The more you drink kombucha and clean out your system and clean out toxins and clean out parasites and all of that, you start becoming so great and so magnetic. People can just see it. And sometimes people be like, something really special about the person. I don't know what it is. I could tell you what it is. They taking care of themselves. They going within. They know where God is. They know how to access God. They know how to become great. So go within. When you go within, sometimes people be preaching, go within. That's how you find God. Go within, go within. And people are like, how do you go within and find God? I'm telling you how. This is how you go within. Start taking better care of yourself. Start talking to yourself about the things you want to accomplish. Start asking yourself. Just like you would ask Google, ask yourself like what is it called? Like a brain server, like an internet server. Your brain is your server. Talk to your brain. It is God. Show me, you talk to your brain just like this. Just like you would type in Google, how to become rich. Talk to your brain like that. Show me how to become rich. Show me multiple ways to become rich. Show me how I can become rich. When you start talking to yourself like that, I promise you activating the God in you. That's how you find God within. That's how you go within. You start talking to yourself. You start taking care of yourself. You start, and then naturally these things are going to just start happening. Like, you want to eat better. You want to do better because it's all falling in line. You become aligned with the greater good. That's what happens when you're alone, if you cultivate it right. So don't get caught up in, why am I so alone? I'm depressed. I'm this, I'm that. No, baby. You alone, and it's the greatest gift that you could ever have. You alone. Hold on, y'all. Somebody calling. You alone, and it's the greatest gift that you could ever have. Okay? Being alone is, it's the greatest gift that you can have. It really is. It is going to, it transforms your life. And if you need somebody to talk to, book a session with me, y'all. All the prices are marked down. I would love to talk to you and to talk. Look, I'm alone right now. I'm always alone. I'm always alone. I'm always talking to y'all. I'm always on this camera talking to y'all, or I'm always on the phone talking to y'all. So let's become great together. Let's become great together, because this is how you truly become a better person. So if you harness it the right way, you're going to step into a greater version of yourself, okay? Get out of that. It's literally mind over matter. Get out of that, why is this happening to me? And get into, what can this do for me? Get out of, why is this happening to me? And get into, what can this do for me? Type it in the comment section if you're alone. What can this do for me? Show me how much better my life can be. Show me how to be the greatest version of myself. Affirm it in the comment section. Let's manifest it together. I love you, and I'll talk to y'all next time at the Winter Circle. Bye-bye.